Yo, I know it's been a while since I've uploaded something, but you know how it is. People get sidetracked, and it didn't feel like that long ago since I've last uploaded, but it creeps on you. With that said, I was supposed to have been uploaded this video like last year. Yeah, it's been that long. That's how long I've had this video on the back burner. But the professional artist I had critique me goes by the pen name Steve Sketches. So in case you don't know who this artist is, he's pretty much a fantasy artist. He mostly does like D&D stuff, like draw people's D&D characters, their OCs, concept art. Pretty much you pay him, he'll draw you just about anything within reason. He streams on Twitch, that's where you can mostly catch him. That's how I got a critique from him. I've been watching Steve stream for about 2 years now. He's a sketcher, I'm a sketcher. I want to draw like him. He's the perfect artist. I see myself years from now. Wait, hold on. Oh, I want to do the things he does. So one day I asked for a critique, and he was kind enough to give me one. Now, one thing you gotta know about Steve is he's kind of like the Gordon Ramsay of art. I've kind of seen this guy lose his shit on stream, and it's kind of funny. I mean, you can tell he's extremely passionate about drawing. He can be an asshole from time to time, but people put up with his shit because he's really good at what he does. It's like Gordon Ramsay. The guy is an asshole to other cooks, but at the end of the day, he wants you to be the best cook you can possibly be. He's not going to hold your hand. Steve, in a way, is kind of the same thing. If your drawing sucks, he's not going to be like, oh wow, I like the colors on this one. I see what you're trying to do. It looks very nice. No, he's gonna call you on your bullshit. If your drawing looks like shit, he's gonna tell you it's shit. But that's okay. He's gonna tell you how to fix your shit.
Why is the spaghetti not in there yet?
The water's not at a rolling boil.
The water's not boiling. Did you top it up with cold water?
Yes, chef.
Why did you put cold water in there?
I thought cold water was supposed to boil faster than hot water.
What?
So it's not like he's just talking shit and not helping you. Don't get me wrong, he's still talking shit, but he's gonna help you. I'm just letting you know beforehand the type of artist Steve can be. He can be a jerk from time to time, but I truly believe the guy wants you to be able to draw well. It's kind of like a, tough love. Now, before I show you guys the critique clip, I just want you guys to know the drawings he critiques aren't where I'm at today. Like I said, these clips are over a half a year old. I've drastically gotten way better. I took what he said about the drawings and applied it. But boy, I tell you, I don't know why I sent him these drawings out of all the drawings I did, because I know, I had way better drawings that day, than what I sent him. I guess I was proud of them or whatever. I don't know, but they were so trash, But let's see what he had to say about them.
Right. Stop doing anime face. Are you a furry, Tim?
For disrespect, he asked me if I was a furry. Nah, that had me rolling though, honestly, when he said that during the live stream. I actually just laughed. It's pretty funny. No, I'm not a furry. He made me not want to draw anime ever again after that. I'm just like, fuck. He's fucking right though. Why am I drawing anime heads? Gotta cut that shit out.
Let's see. No? Okay, well, stop giving your characters muzzles. They're not dogs, they're people. So whatever this big, humongous tumor is coming out of the face is a no-no. Okay? You're doing really well on some parts, right? Like this page is great, right? You lost your perspective here on this cylinder, but these peanuts are pretty good. Like this one's really strong, right? You are shading your spheres backwards. The shadow is more likely going to be a crescent instead of a circle like that. I do see how you made that mistake. Yeah. So typically a shadow is going to follow the form of something unless it's being cast upon it. And even then, it still gets bent by the curvature and stuff. This is just like, this is kind of ludicrous. Like the butt is humongous, the boobs are humongous, and they're also coming out of her shoulders and not, they're like above her collar. They start above her collarbone and not below her collarbone. She's got this ridiculous muzzle thing going on. So like, I have no idea what this is, and that whatever that is, that needs to stop. Like that's not helping you. Yeah. You seem to have a lot of bad habits when it comes to faces specifically, where you're getting lost a lot. Don't draw the teeth when you're doing skull studies, unless you know what the heck you're doing. Don't just go like across like that. It looks really bad, and it's also confusing your perspective as well. Okay. Yeah, it's just a lot of work. I'm definitely seeing that like with cylinders you're struggling here, but like with this body you did a pretty good job. Like the perspective here reads pretty well. Your proportions are very exaggerated. The breasts you're drawing way too high up. Where would you say you stand fundamentally wise? You're still a beginner. You're doing good though, like pretty good for a beginner. You're not quite amateur yet. But yeah, like whatever you're doing here with these peanuts, where you're doing this, where you're drawing the cube and then you're drawing those within, like those are good. Like the fact that you can draw these cubes in perspective most of the time is encouraging, because that's like the first hurdle that most people struggle with. But you definitely do not understand cylinders very well at all. You are better with organic forms, and that's usually that, and that's fair. That's fine. But yeah, don't do the muzzle thing. Like you definitely did like some anime drawing there for a while, and you're having to break some pretty bad habits. So do try to break those habits. But I know like this thing, like the muzzle thing. Like I get it. Like I've seen it. I've seen it happen all the time. Like just don't do that. That's not how the human head works. Okay. There is like a little bit of a thing that comes out here, but by and large, it's not very big. Some people in profile do have like a very pronounced upper lip. You know, and like a weak chin, you know, which can lead to kind of like a muzzle, almost like a muzzle shape. There are other people in profile that will have like a flat nose, and they'll have very pronounced lips working together to create kind of a very pronounced form there, right? But by and large, you're definitely not going to see whatever this is. Okay. That does not occur in human nature, I'm afraid. Anime has lied to you. This form also does not occur. Like this head shape is not a thing. This is not a thing. I'm sorry to inform you. What's going on there is they're simplifying the brow ridge and the cheekbone, and they're just making this like very big soft shape there to like fit these huge eyes, right? And if it's done well, it can be appealing, but it definitely confuses novices because they don't understand the skeletal structure that that form is based on. Very easy to overwork something.
So after that, I was pretty much just like, okay, the anime stuff, just gotta stop drawing it. So, to be fair, I mean, I do a mix of like realism with like anime studies. I mean, my studying isn't just anime. Just for whatever reason, I showed him, a couple pages of sketches that, were anime heads and stuff like that. So I guess he assumed that's all I did. But given that much, I went on like Earthworld and I started sketching like portraits and stuff like that of real people and stuff like that. And then shortly after doing that, feeling confident like in my portraits and like kind of like my realistic human like sketching heads and portraits or whatever like that, I decided to kind of hit him up one more time and show those. So this is the next clip of me showing him non-anime heads, but portraits, realism.
I've seen Tim before. Are these like coffee stain drawing kind of things, Tim? Is that kind of your idea? Which came first, the blue or the black? Okay. Colored pencils. Oh. Oh yeah, I guess those are colored pencils. Yeah. Okay, and you did reference? First World? Okay. So yeah, it's just I'm just seeing that there's not a lot of like understanding of form or shadows in the eye and stuff like that. Let's see what else. There's lots of things that end up being in profile that aren't supposed to be in profile because we've got a 3/4 view or things like that. Like this guy's nose kind of ends up looking like a 2D shape when it's supposed to be a 3D shape, right? And then like the plane of this of like the mustache and the mouth are very different from like the plane of the eyes and the nose, right? I don't know why these are angled up so high as compared to this, right? When you're drawing hair, don't do like this hatch thing, this like persistent hatch thing. Draw hair, even and like facial hair and stuff like that, as form. You gotta do that with like lips and stuff too, right? Just this big block form. You know, you can hatch it later, but make sure it's 3D first, and then you can like add some hatch. So just make sure that your hatch does not like kill the illusion of 3D. Yeah, I don't know. And like things like the bill of the cap and stuff, like that's all 3-dimensional, right? So like not having that depth there like really hurts the illusion. Okay. It's like a mustache like this one here. You know, it actually ends up being kind of a 3D shape like this. You can see how it is this form, right? Comes over like that. So you can create like the shadow here, and then like that. Give them a little bit of a trim. So the thing is, whenever you're working with any of these, you know, you got to think of it as if you're sculpting, not drawing, right? You know, you're not just pushing lines around your. Like, also, some other things I noticed is like the purport, like some sort of weird thing happened here with the neck and the hair and the ear and stuff. And like the nose is huge, right? So I don't know which Earthworld reference this was, but there are some generally consistent proportions to consider. Like for instance, the ear usually comes here between the eyes and the nose, right? Like that. And yeah, and then the hat and everything has to follow the same perspective, right? And the like the skull and everything has to remain consistent. So skull would be back here, yeah, about that far away, and you get all that hair in there. Yeah, and then at that point we have, you know, some other points of consistency to consider. I understand that this looks like kind of like a low angle picture. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, and then he's got his glasses on his hat. Okay. There we go. And just like that. So you can see how big of a difference that is. Even with like very curiously proportioned people, or even people who I don't have the reference for, like I understand enough about like consistent human proportion that I can kind of get a sense of like what this guy's supposed to look like. Anyway. Yeah, that looks about right. Because your distant profile is easier to draw. Yeah, if it's a perfect profile, then it's kind of like a one-to-one transition. I think you did a good job like measuring. Yeah, these eyebrows are getting away from you. You keep letting your eyebrows like get like this weird. It's definitely like a caterpillar thing going on. But eyebrows are subject to perspective as well, and also they don't have that much volume on the average person. Yeah, don't wing like cheekbones and stuff like that, or just throw them around willy nilly. Cheekbones always go straight that way. There's a lot of like uncertainty, wibbly wobbly, and stuff like that you're doing here. Like a lot of that. I'm seeing it in quite a few places. Loosen up and get broader strokes because there's all this there's like all these little like bumps and things like that you're getting in your stuff, and it's really not great looking. Don't draw teeth like this where it's just like squares. Like that is horrifying. It always looks horrible. Like never do that. Just like everything else, teeth have very consistent patterns. Learn them. Okay. I don't understand like the tubey ponytail. Like I never understood that. Is that how ponytails actually look in IRL, where there's this like tube coming out of a thing like that? I don't know. I guess I've just never seen them work that way. I've always seen them do this, where they just kind of like. Yeah, I can't think of a time where I've seen a ponytail just kind of like come out of someone's head like that. No, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if I had access to the reference, I would learn something about ponytails today. But yeah, like all this wibbly wobbly little large stuff. It's just not convincing. I'm not convinced that you are observing well or that you are sure of what you are doing, or that what you have drawn is accurate. Teeth are hard. I mean, everything's hard. Okay, it's never an excuse. Art's hard, guys. Like, uh-huh. I know. Get over it. It's always hard. It's never going to stop being hard. Okay. Yeah. Let me grab this color here. There we go. Looks a little less horrifying. Yeah, see here. The biggest fix, of course, is the eyeball. Like that's huge. Like my dude, never draw that, right? Never draw like this. Okay, I never want to see this again. This is like a big, super duper no no. Okay, nobody's eyeball looks like that. Yeah. You know, there are so many different shapes to eyes. Very few of them are like boxes. The problem is that there's all these tutorials on like how to draw eyes, and it's just like all this crap. It's awful. You know, eyes are forms. You know, I like these diamonds and stuff. You know, eyelids have depth. You know, there's the shadow here, there. You know, the upper lid casts a shadow on the lower lid. Maybe some light reflecting over there. You can see how it's a three-dimensional shape. It always is. Always has been. Yeah. The problem with drawing stuff like this is that it requires you to understand, you know, 3 dimensions, right? If you don't understand 3 dimensions, you're not going to be able to draw, you know, an eyelid wrapping around an eyeball. But yeah, you'll see this in like every how to draw book ever. No, keep doing portraits, it's fine. But I would also recommend that you know, learn how to draw, you know, shapes like this, where you can like draw a sphere, right? You know, and maybe like cut into the sphere. Draw like a subsphere coming out of it, right? You know, being able to create like wireframes like this is invaluable. Just even simple stuff like this, right? This is what separates, you know, the noobs from the amateurs, is just being able to comprehend 3 dimensions. Okay. You know, being able to construct a nose out of, I would use a wedge. I would use a wedge like this shape. Has been my go-to for a very long time. right? Like being able to extrude from it, right? Being able to pull, to being able to like dig into a 3D form, right? And create these. Forms like that. See that? Being able to soften the edges and tuck in as needed. Yeah. So if you can do this, then yeah. See? And it's just about sculpting. It's about building complexity. And I just had a wedge there before, right? And now I've got something resembling a nose. Right? So I put money to the side for that mentorship. Sounds good, man. You know, even if you turn these people into like block people, I would much prefer like blocky, angular forms, but the perspective is correct and the forms feel three-dimensional, right? I would far prefer that than any of this like, I'm going to try blue pencil to shade today. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just doing, I don't know, I just like the color blue, right? Don't do that. Like, don't just
that kind of orc.
flail around and make decisions without understanding any whys behind it. Got it? Just focus on form, because form is the fundamental basis, the foundational basis of everything else. That's people ask me like, how do I shade, Steve? You're not ready to shade anything. You don't understand form. And if you don't understand form, how could you possibly put a shadow on anything? Yeah. How do I draw eyeballs, Steve? I don't know. Can you draw a sphere? No. Oh, well, there you go. Is my freaking mouse game?
So that's it for the critiques. Pretty much like I was saying before, that was like so long ago. I was been trying to make this like a video like I said since last year, but it's been sitting on my computer. And I'm like, let me just get the video out the way. I mean, looking back at that, I mean, I have improved a lot. Yeah, those are like really, really, really crappy drawings, but I do understand what Steve, was saying, and I look at those videos like I've seen like those videos like multiple times. And I've learned a lot from it, and I make sure to keep that in my head as I'm, drawing, doing portraits or anything like that, trying to understand, form, how important form is, for three-dimensionality, in drawing. But, yeah, just check out Steve's sketches. He's an amazing artist. Steve is one of, I like to think and say he's one of the elites. Steve, he's not the best artist in the world, but he can hold his own. He can hold his own when it comes to like these, art gods, as we like to say in the industry. Here are like a couple of like personally, like my favorite pieces from that I just love, man. I'm just like, God, like this is so good, man. Like just
this shit good.
it's like, will I ever be this good? I ask myself, and I train, and I try hard like every day. I want it to become a reality. I want to be able to draw this good. I want to make art my living. It's just so good. But that's it, guys. If you made it to the end of the video, appreciate it. I really do. I know it's a long one. And if you learned anything, right, like while Steve was teaching me something, if you picked up and you learned something yourself, throughout the video, give the video a like. I do like educational, content on this channel, as well as like, my art and studies and drawings and stuff like that. So if you're all about that art, that art life, that art grind, this is the channel for you. I'm all for it. I'm all about it. With that being said, guys, thanks for stopping by, and yeah, take it easy. Take care. Stay safe out there. And keep on drawing. Never stop drawing. Bye.